talk about hearing the voice of God today. There are many different ways we can hear from God. I would like to talk about how and what of hearing God's voice. In the past, in ancient times, people like Ignatius of Antioch focused more on how we can hear from God. He came up with the idea of spiritual ascendancy. He thought that if we climb the spiritual ladder by emptying ourselves, we can draw closer to God. And when we draw closer to God, we can hear from Him clearly and precisely. That's one way to hear from God. But we can't always think about how, but also what we hear from God. We normally expect from God something that we want to hear from Him. But yeah, of course, God is God of grace and mercy, and He can fulfill the desires of our heart. But that is not always the case. He can speak to us the things that we really need to hear. Something that we may not like. For instance, go out there and love your enemy, even those who hurt you the most. So, to be objective, in the medieval times, people tried to listen to God in silence through meditation, contemplation, or prayer in silence, because they know that if they were talking too much, they were actually hearing their own voice instead of God's voice. So we need to think about how and what of God's voice when we think about hearing God. Thank you.